Hello, Jonathan Heinrich here. Today we're continuing the conversation from the AI Product Management Specialization with human factors in AI, where we start getting into the user experience. To pick up where we left off, I'm creating my own social media marketing tool using available AI tools. In the previous video, we covered the sentiment analysis tool I created using a gumloop workflow, leveraging the Claude 3 Haiku LLM. Now that I know what social media posts have had the best sentiment, I can now take those and train my model to create social media posts, mimicking my voice stylistically while I enter in the topics and events to write about. As we get into the content generation machine, we'll run through a similar iterative cycle of training the model, generating some test content, assessing the results, and adjusting our inputs. From there, I'll build an approval workflow so nothing gets out without my approval, or at least until we trust the model a little bit more. I made a quick hand sketch to get the design out of my head and onto paper. Next, I hopped onto my free account with FigJam and created rough UX wireframes featuring the social media publishing calendar front and center to the user experience. Let's first look at two main epics, content creation and content scheduling. So what are the inputs and outputs of the system? Let's take a look in the actual wireframe. Hop over here to FigJam. Here's the dashboard we've got set up as wireframes. You'll see the social media publishing calendar front and center. We've got an activity dashboard where we can monitor posts from the workflow. And then down below, we're seeing where we're going to create this content and then where we're going to schedule it. So first, let's go to model inputs. Click on here, open model inputs. I can either point to an existing URL or import a CSV. I'm going to pick my model. I'm going to add metadata and keywords and customize my hyperparameter tuning. Next, once I've established the algorithm, features, and hyperparameters, I can now train the model. I'll add any computation time limits to be mindful of financial operations or FinOps. Then I'll check out my reports to show the output metrics. Note that creating these metrics will take some consideration since we're creating social media posts, which are largely subjective. Number 3, content creation. Once my model is trained, I'll actually run the model. I'll add photos that I want to create posts for, determine how many posts, what topics and hashtags I would like to include, and any configuration that I'd like to do to my topics, holidays, and event settings. A machine learning execution would not be complete without an assessment. Here, we'll see each of the posts that was created and have the opportunity to hit plus or minus on the feedback clicker so the model will learn from its mistakes. Continuing down, number 5. Once we've got all our content created, I'll go ahead and schedule that content, simplified here, mainly right now, looking to either automatically or manually schedule the posts. Once those have been scheduled through the approval workflow, they'll be available in the calendar up top here. Each day, my social media marketing manager can look at this activity dashboard to approve new content or moderate existing posts. In the section below here, in the right-hand sidebar, we'll save this image generation toolkit along with other aspects of the social media marketing tool for another session. We've seen all the inputs, and the output is an automated generation of social media posts. As with all models, there is uncertainty and model decay to manage. For my wireframes, I've added some of the common statistical measurement reports. However, these may not be applicable because these are more suited to regression or classification activities that can be measured against test data. In order to stay on ethical high ground, any AI or ML model should have transparency so the user can understand how the system came up with this response. Models certainly don't have all the context as humans do. For this model, I have a simple plus-minus feedback mechanism to help train the model as we go. Another aspect of AI ethics is understanding the privacy considerations. There are plenty of pitfalls to watch out for in this space, including gray area around the legality of scraping social media accounts, the use of copyrighted material, and of course, ensuring the content does not create any personal safety issues. Other ethical considerations here include fairness, accountability, and transparency. And something that we all have to consider, if the models start training on AI-generated content, then we're at risk of a nasty feedback loop, creating additional bias. In summary, for our social media content generator, we talked through the task analysis, the user interface design, privacy, and ethical considerations. We've gone from a sentiment analysis segment to the content generation, where we've gone through model inputs, model training, content creation, assessment, and next we'll move on to content scheduling. Thank you for joining me in this discussion about human factors in AI. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.